Hi, welcome to a Simplified and Fabulous Mom Life podcast. I'm Jennifer McDaniel, pro organizer, capsule wardrobe stylist, and functional home designer. As a mom of four, I realize how quickly things get out of control and how important it is to prioritize how your home functions and how it makes you feel. So if you're ready to find solutions to the stressors in your home and make room for the things that are really important, listen in and let's get started. Hey guys, I know that a lot of you might be traveling this weekend, so I wanted to give you some easy tips for traveling nicely with kids. All right, a couple of things that I like to keep in the car when we're traveling for entertainment and just keeping things nice, and some food that we keep with us in the car. All right, so number one, I like to keep baby wipes in the car. Always. There's always a reason that we need baby wipes in the car. And the other thing I like to keep in the car are grocery store bags so that we can tie up the trash. I can pass it all the way to the third row and the kids can put their trash in there, collect that. The other thing I like to keep in the car is a cup or a bottled water for each person. With the little ones, I like to keep the sippy cups. Honestly, my favorites are the sippy character cups that come, I don't even remember the name of them. It's like a juicy one, but they have just a sippy top with a character lid. They're entertained by them. And it's not too much, and they don't typically spill if you toss them down more than just a drip, which is just fine because we already have the floor mats in the car. I do like a couple of different snacks to keep in the car. My kids are all older now, but there was a season in my life when I traveled every weekend or every other weekend, at least 8 hours in the car. 8 hours in the car, yes, every week. With my kids, 5 kids. The youngest was a baby. Oh, goodness, that was a lot. But I learned a lot. I learned so many things. So for the older kids, I always pack a bag of apples. That's a great thing. It gives them flavor, juiciness. It's entertaining with the crunch and very easy to clean up with the baby wipe. It wipes up any of the juicy drips off of the kid or the car. Very easy, car-friendly snack. So I love packing apples. The other thing I would pack is an entire loaf of bread turned into sandwiches and shoved right back in that bread bag. You can make whatever kind of sandwiches you want, but keep them car friendly. So typically we did a PB&J because that's just easy. Everybody was happy with it, even Dad while he was driving. The other thing I like to pack in the car is like some trail mix because nuts and raisins, that sort of thing, they're pretty easy to clean up if they spill out in the car. They're not going to turn into a mushy mess. They're not going to melt into the seats or anything. They're pretty easy to clean up, even if they're not found for a few months. The other favorite is beef jerky. And for the little tinies, I like to do those, the pouchies, like the applesauce pouches or the fruit and vegetable pouches. Love doing those. The kids love them so much. And it's easy to distract them. The other thing I did a lot with my baby when we were traveling were those yogurt, like what is it? It's dehydrated fruit, but it's freeze-dried. That's what it is. That's the word I'm trying to find. Freeze-dried fruits and vegetables because they were less choking hazard for a little one. And they had lots of flavor and they were really fun and entertaining for literally everyone in the car, even myself. The other thing I pack for myself all the time in the car is carrots. I love chomping on a bag of carrots. Little baby carrots in the car. I love doing that. Pass them back for all the kids. Everybody loved those. Those were fantastic. And then occasionally we would do like popcorn or something like that. Those were super easy snacks and they kept everybody entertained. Even me, even my husband who was driving with all the kids. And it gave them a variety. Another thing I would do, sometimes we would do like a turkey deli meat and just kind of roll it up, or like cheese sticks or something like that. Sometimes I would even just pack a block of cheese and slice it, like just slice it and pass it back. That's super easy and really inexpensive to share with the kids. And it keeps it pretty healthy. If you find the cheese in the car later, it's probably just hard and a little waxy or something. It's not too bad to find cheese left in the car. The things that I absolutely hated in the car because they would inevitably get ground into crumbs would be like like the goldfish crackers or the bunny crackers or whatever. Those things, they just would always get smashed into the car. We often, like chips, no, I didn't do any chips, or the melty gummies, like the fruit snacks, none of that stuff, because they will melt into the carpet and then you're never going to get them out. That drove me crazy. With 5 kids, like that someone's going to have something. The other thing I would do is I would keep like if I was passing out a more flavor, like a junkier treat, I would literally just throw it back at the kids and then let them catch it like one at a time, and they would all be so excited, like, I don't know, an M&M or something. Occasionally we would do that just for entertainment. We were in the car so much, and they were so good about being in the car. So we did little snacks like that, and sometimes I would just toss them back like a marshmallow or something weird. Throw it at them in the back seat, and it's not going to hurt them. They'll be so excited to get it, and it entertains them for a while. The other thing I always brought in the car were like books or some sort of puppety thing that they could play with in the car without being loud and bothersome, because that many people in the car for that long of a time, over and over and over again, you get a little bored. So we did, like, there were some magnetic books where you could move it's like a sticker, but it's a magnet, so you can move it around in the book and make different stories with it and have some fun. And that worked for, even my older kids enjoyed playing around with that. We just did lots of little things. Sometimes when we would get, often when we would do like a kids meal or something throughout the week, which wasn't very often, but when you're traveling that much, hey, you got to make some sacrifices. So you just do the easy sometimes and live your life. And so we would put, anytime they got the kids meal, they didn't even know it came with a toy most of the time, because when it comes in the window, I take the toy out and I take the juice box out or whatever it is, and I stash it for later. So they would literally just get like the chicken nuggets or something like that, and that would be super easy. Pass that back, and then I would have a treat for them later. And then they would have the toy, and I would give that to them when we were on a longer drive and they would need something to entertain them for a longer time. That was so easy. I also sometimes did stickers, but there was a time when they started sticking them all over the car, and that drove me crazy. It was really hard to get some of them off, so we kind of stopped doing that. And we did the water markers, like the water coloring as well, where you would fill the pen up with water, and then it would color all over the book, and then it would dry, and then they could color it again. Those were so fantastic for toddlers, and I literally just kept them in the car with a water bottle. Like, I always would have a water bottle in the car, and I would just refill them. I could even refill them while we were driving, and it worked great. So if you guys are traveling with kids, I hope that you can use some of these quick tips and have some fun and save a little money and save your sanity. Don't forget this. When you're traveling with kids, my husband loves to have the window down, and then the toddlers, the little ones, they just scream because they're freezing or they don't like the wind on them. So I always kept like even a pashmina or like a toddler, like a muslin blanket or something in the summertime, and then in the cooler months, something a little thicker. But those worked great, and I would just shove it in the back seat, like the seat pocket on the back of the seat. I would keep those in there, and I also have one in my purse all the time. When I had multiple toddlers and little ones, I would sometimes have 2 when we were going to be out, and I knew we would be going outside in the heat and then inside in the AC and back and forth. Or if they were going to be in the stroller for a long time, I kept one that I could literally tie a knot on it to keep it onto the stroller. Those are some super easy tips that keeps the kids entertained. They can play peekaboo, and maybe even do like a little tent or fort. But I like to keep the thin blankets. You can even pack, if you have several kids in the back seat, even pack a sheet and like just tie it on the back of the headrest things, and then put it over the front ones. And then they have this cute little hideout, and they can be really imaginative in there. So I hope these tips were helpful for you, and I hope you had some fun with them, and I hope you guys have a great Easter weekend. I'm so thankful for you guys. Alrighty, I'm gonna get going. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Simplified and Fabulous Mom Life podcast. We would love to hear from you. Our podcast hotline for U.S. is 980-389-0399. You can share your tips and tricks, topic suggestions, ask questions, and let me know if we should answer any of these on the air. For other ways to connect, you can reach us at jmorganizingspaces.com.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Did I say it right?